Hey guys, this is the Craigslist workshop, The Forgotten Goldmine. My name is Gregory Evans. I'm the instructor, the creator of this program. A little bit about me, so we can get right into this. I'm a business growth advisor. Of course, I do consulting. I work for one of the largest brokerage firms in the nation. I specialize in franchise sales and resales and M&A. I've got over 30 years of experience in the business. Well, let's step back for a minute as we get into this Craigslist, the gold mine, the opportunity that's available, and the part that you're playing here. Essentially, what you've got here is a program where you can go after businesses on Craigslist, develop a good relationship with them, grow an income, a recurring income stream. You can do repeatable business as well. We'll get into all of those things. But you're doing it under the auspices of an online business consultant, an online business consultant. And so it's important to understand why online. And you can go see clients. There's nothing wrong with that. But, I got involved with doing online prior to the pandemic, maybe a year and a half or so. I started doing Zooms and things of that nature. So I've been doing Zooms for a while now. And during that period of time, during the pandemic, I knew exactly how to run a business without having to go see people, you know, and it came in handy, and my business really, exploded pretty much at that point. And I just kept doing the same thing and started teaching it. Well, what I was really teaching is the online business consultant, how to be an online business consultant. What you're doing is, and you can see here to the right, the services that you provide, as well as the advantages of doing this particular opportunity. Doing this online, you can do this full or part-time. For most of us, it's going to be a part-time gig, but you can do pretty well doing this as well. So let's just talk about it for a minute. You're going to be providing services that are designed to accelerate the cash flow of a small business. I did a program called the Accelerate Your Cash Flow program. And in that program, we talk about the first tenet is to drive growth to the business. And then when you drive growth to the business, it increases sales. And when it increases sales, it increases the value of the business, And so the acceleration for a small business is very important. So you're going to be providing services to help the business accelerate their cash flow. In return, doing this full or part-time, and most people will do this part-time, as I said, but, depending on various things, obviously, 3 to 5 thousand per month, full or part-time. And I say that because, I don't know how much time you'll spend in this. I don't know how much time you'll dedicate to doing it. I don't know what areas you'll be involved in. There's a lot of variables there. But if you dedicate some time to this as a part-time person, you can, you can easily make 3 to 5 thousand, which is what I was doing. I'm doing this, and so and along the way, you'll create and grow a recurring income stream as well. There'll be two types of income here. You have repeatable income, which I call money on demand or money on delivery type services. A one-off when you get paid $300, $500, whatever it may be, for a particular service. And then of course you'll have recurring income. As a recurring income, for example, consumer financing, which is one of the base products that we deal with. You've got a recurring income stream, or can have one in that type of scenario. And so again here, and I mentioned the money on demand services that you can earn $300 to $500 daily. Now I say that you may or may not even do $300 to $500 daily. But what I mean by that is you can provide a service at any given point in time through Craigslist as a good example, because those business owners are easy to reach out to and generate, $300 in a particular day easily, so you can do something, and that's what I mean by daily, as opposed to making $300 a day. Because I don't know whether you'll do that, but you will have the capacity just by getting on Craigslist on some of the things we talk about in this program, and just go out today, depending on what service you're providing, and make $300 to $500 on a deal. Okay, we'll talk about some of the tools and the resources that you need to get started. There's certain things that are very, very important because you're doing this as an online business consultant. One of the great things about the online business consultant opportunity is that you can do business anywhere. You know, I've stepped back a little bit now to begin focusing a little bit, a little bit on my own market and trying to, take advantage of my market in the Gulf. But at the same time, I traditionally have gone after markets nationwide in various, major markets. And that's worked out well for me. And so the concept of online business consultant came as a result of that. When you treat it that way, and you can start either way, it just depends on how you gravitate, to what particular discipline, whether it be local or regionally or whatever it is. But the online aspect of this makes it very doable. Well, within that, you need certain tools that, if you utilize them, will make your job much easier. So we'll talk about some of those tools, that are very, very important and very important. And it's not something that you have to really get heavily involved in. It doesn't take, a rocket science to really get involved in, but just know that you want to find out and learn about the tools and the most critical components of what you have to do to make money doing this, because it makes it easier when you start outsourcing business. We talk about a little bit later, or using as an outsourcer, maybe someone making calls. It is much easier when you know the components of what it takes to run this business. It makes it easier to later down the road if you have to use an outsourcer, and eventually you just may do that. But one thing that's really nice here is that, in addition, and the outsourcers can go both ways. You can use an outsourcer, and you can to do business for you. You can use an outsourcer to make money for a client, and through upcharging. But anyway, the tools and the resources are very, very important. And then finally, run your local or business from anywhere. Again, talking about Craigslist, you can use Craigslist anywhere in the country, and then you have a lead source that is Craigslist that you can utilize anywhere in the country. And just one final note here as we close here. One final note. One of the things that you have to understand, that hopefully you'll understand as you move into this business, this in the beginning seems like a small thing, the 3,000 to 5,000, or I don't know how you may see it. But one of the things you have to understand is you're dealing with actual businesses here, actual businesses. So as an example, I've traditionally gone after the home services market. Well, traditionally, I'm going after auto repair. I did auto repair for about 12 years. Major titles around the country, major franchises around the country, individual shops, in cities and towns all over America. I've done, lots of them, from Atlanta all the way to California. Mostly auto, for a long time, auto and collision shops. And then I gravitated from that into other businesses such as funeral homes, and I've even done some medical facilities, which is something I've actually never done. But of course, my biggest market, in the last few years has been home services. And so, to give an example of how this can work for you, depending on what you're doing and what you're trying to accomplish here, the home services business for me is a good program for me because I have a real estate business. And so my home services businesses, feed my real estate businesses in some ways. And then, of course, I have a group of folks that I work with across the country. We do deals together, in the specialty in the real estate market that I deal with. So for me, this particular business is a great business because there's so many offshoots depending on what you're trying to accomplish. So, for example, another good one that I like to utilize is an insurance agent. As an insurance agent, this is an outstanding way to enter into the insurance business, or if you're not in this business, to get involved in this business, because you're dealing with business owners that have employees, and because they have employees, and you sign them up on a payroll slot or something of that nature, you have a much better relationship because you're offering, accelerated cash flow services, and they met you that way as opposed to maybe the insurance route. And so you find out a lot more information a lot faster at, going this route than you would possibly going through the insurance. And then you'll turn around and you'll get the insurance business as well. And so it's a good lead in for that. So here we're talking about the real estate business, as an example. When I'm doing home services, we're talking about insurance. And there's other offshoots, to the same types of businesses, working with attorneys. There's all types of niches that you can really get involved in that go beyond just the basics that we'll talk about in this course. And those are beyond some of the things we'll be talking about in this course. But just to give you a flavor as to what this can really be for you, what this online business consultant opportunity can really do for you. So I hope you enjoy the course. I enjoyed putting it together. This is a real live look at what actually goes on because I'm actually in the business. I've been a business consultant with one of the largest business consulting firms for small business in the nation for quite a number of years now, probably about 10 or so years, and got a lot of experience as it relates to this type of activity. So hopefully you'll get a good understanding of your grounding in it. And if you stick with this business, find yourself a specialty in this business, something, for example, like auto or any number of other niches. Funeral homes is a good niche, that you can get involved in, along with going after maybe one or two other niches, but let it be your main niche so that you can learn more about the business as you go forward. Take a look at it as we go through. We'll talk about customer finance, another good market you want to look at. And so hopefully you'll get a lot out of this course, and you'll see how important this really can be for your income and for your career. Hope you enjoy it. Look forward. Let's get started.